So, good day again. Today I'd like to talk about how to make your garden very robust, or shall we say productive garden. And you see these tomatoes here? See how big they are? They're- I'm trying to produce giant tomatoes. Um, and see the soil under? It's all black. And this stops here. These are all small plants. But what you see here, the black soil here is made up of mainly compost. So today I'd like to talk about compost. What compost for? How to make compost. Okay. This, did you see this mound here? It looks like a small mountain somehow. But this is what we mean by compost. If, see this one here? This is what I use in the garden. It used to be leaves only and garbage before, but now it turns to be like soil. When I say compost, I mean this one here. Okay, how do we make this compost really? This one compost is very good. If you put this one into the plants or growing plants, they will make the plants grow because compost is organic material and they're all made from everything organic. When we say organic, it means that these are materials which were once living. For example, plants, animals, and anything you can see that was living, even human beings, can be organic material. That means no plastics, metals, big stones, or something like that. So, how do we actually make compost for garden? Okay, I have here a bucket where I used to haul compost into the garden. And this one here is just about maybe about a month to 2 months. And see how it becomes now. It used to be big leaves, green leaves and brown leaves, but now it becomes like soil, organic fertilizer. That's what we call it. Okay, how did I make this one? There are many ways to make compost, but the way I make it is I'm describing here. How did I make turn this compost soil from organic material? Basically, we take anything which is leaves. Okay, what you do is you gather organic material such as dried leaves. So this one, for example, I collected a lot of leaves from the tree. We have a willow tree usually around. Under that, there will be plenty of droppings from dried leaves. You can collect them and put them into the bucket and gather them into one mountain. I use this one to haul buckets of leaves, fill it up, brown leaves, then put it under the ground, and then but brown leaves will at least supply you with carbon. Carbon is you can produce carbon if you burn wood. The black uh, portions is full of carbons, and plants love to have carbons while they are growing. So that's why we use dried leaves for that one. But carbon is plants do not need only carbon; they need a lot of nitrogen, and for that, what we do is we pick up anything green leaves, such as this one here, for example. You can compost this one. You pick up anything greens from the gardens, garden clippings, or even green leaves such as this one here. You can cut that one, gather them, chop them up, and then put them into a bucket and put it on top of the brown leaves. So we do it by layer. Say one bucket of dried leaves here, and then another put it in the ground. Maybe 3 buckets, Then another 3 buckets of green leaves, anything green, such as your, sometimes in the garden you will have plants which are not producing any uh, fruits. I used to have some tomatoes that has not is not bearing any fruit, so I used to uproot them, chop them up, and use it for my compost. So another 3 buckets of greens. Then on top of that, you can spray their sprinkle them with water, and then put another brown leaves, and then green leaves, and another brown and greens. Now, how much should we need for a good compost? Now, ideally you should have at least 3 feet by 3 feet by 3 feet height of mountain. You can have more, because but you need the height so that it will so that you can generate heat to start the composting process. Okay, now many people are telling that you can compost almost anything. Well, you can put into the compost almost anything that is organic, even for example like kitchen vegetable cuttings, kitchen scraps, papers, anything biodegradable, anything that can rot when exposed to the atmosphere, okay, when exposed to the elements. So so what we cannot, what are those things that we don't put into compost? For example, anything that is non-organic, such as plastics, metals, uh, straws, I mean plastic straws, or even sticks. uh, you know what I mean. There's a lot of things which we cannot there's a lot of things that we can use to be into the compost, but there's also a lot of things that we cannot put into the compost. Dairy products is not good, because composting is, and even strong chemicals we cannot put inside, because composting, uh, the reason why they become soil like this, yeah, full of fibers, is because this has been um, there are bacterias which are eating these leaves and turn them into soils. So we need good bacteria to produce this composting materials. Okay, harmful chemicals such as soap, detergents will kill this thing. Okay, so we don't put them. Okay, after, maybe you can put urine also. Urine will provide urea and full of nitrogen, and it has phosphorus and potassium as well, which is required by the plants. Okay, you can put eggshells, okay, but not stones, and then that's it. So after that, then we'll have a good compost for our garden like this. Okay, hope you enjoy the show, and next week we'll discuss another one on how to make your garden very fat or very robust. Thank you. And this is some of my garden plants. You see there, they're very green. Okay, thank you, and see you next week. Bye.